the UTSA success team working together to help address some of these challenges that you're seeing? You said that your attempts to help maybe the most vulnerable populations or populations that have specific needs really can be scaled and applied across your campus. And you have a pretty large campus with a fairly diverse population. And I know that one of the things you and I have talked about off camera is how you have a very strategic cross-functional approach to student success. So I'd love to have you share more about how your student success team is working together to help your students succeed.
Sure. Actually, we have the Division of Student Success here at the university, but everyone's role, that's just in our name, right? Everyone's role across the institution is to help students succeed. And so there's a couple of ways that we've addressed this from a strategic standpoint. One is just simply every week, our provost and works with a team of leaders, myself overseeing the Division of Student Success, our institutional effectiveness, institutional research team, student affairs, our university college, our strategic enrollment, grad school, and on, academic innovation being another group. We meet every week and we're looking at what are some of the challenges facing our students? What are the things that are coming up in the months ahead? What are things that we need to be thinking about? And how can we address that? So we are trying to stay, one, on top of any type of issue and proactively address as many things as we can as we see things starting to rumble up. So that's one thing that we do. And I think it's made a huge difference because everyone owns a little piece of what we need to help best support our students. And so whether it's saying, hey, student affairs, this is the area that we need you guys to work on in strategic enrollment over here, and us with our centralized programming and other pieces that we do, we work collectively as a team and we work really, really well. And our eye is on the data, and we're always looking at the data and making those adjustments. And from that work, we created what we call our hub and spoke model, which is where some of our centralized programming that falls under the Division of Student Success. We typically provide services for students early on in their academic career, that first year, second year. So we house our first year experience program. We have housing and residence life, our academic support programs like tutoring and supplemental instruction, academic advising, those types of programs. And now what we've done is we've created a model to where all of our academic colleges also have a student success center located within them. They dotted line report back to us, and we've identified some unified goals and strategies and how to utilize our student success technology tools in a way to meet our goals, our unified goals and approaches, and making sure that everyone stays in their lane as to what they need to do so that we're not overburdening students, but also making sure that we're not creating gaps in services as well. So we're trying to make sure that we're streamlining whether they start out and they get most of their services from a program that my direct team would oversee, to where now they're a junior or a senior in our Alvarez College of Business, and they're getting primarily services and programming from the college. And so how do we build that bridge? And so we've done that through this new model, and the technology tools that we use have become integral to making sure that we are looking at this from a data-focused lens, as well as making sure that we are not leaving any gaps along the way, cracks that students could fall through. And we're also not in a time of limited resources and budgets that we're not having redundant services when those aren't needed.
So it sounds like you're coordinating quite a number of stakeholders across your campus, and that you said that you are setting unified goals and that you're using data as your foundation, informing your decision making and your work. Is there a way that you organize all of those teams to stay in good communication and to stay on the same page that you found effective through doing this work?
Absolutely. So yes, so we've started, there are regular monthly meetings with this team, and we call it Hub and Spoke, just by title, but it really is this collective ecosystem of supports. And so we started this work with a small working group, and we made sure that we're all academic colleges and all centralized support services were represented. We created this working group, identified what were some of those common themes or areas that we all needed to work on. I equate it to like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Every student needs basic water, air, just like, right? Water, air, shelter, right? And then when we get sense of belonging, and as we get to self-actualization at the top of that, that's a nuanced piece that might be unique to a college. But whether we're a centralized program or we're an academic college providing services, all students need some basic what we call basic needs. And so we work together as a group to say, whether you're a business major or you're an engineering major or you're a major in our liberal and fine arts college, you all need some basic things around academic support, around career and engaged learning opportunities that are specific to that area, around digital fluency and engagement and belonging. And how can we best address that? So we all agree that's a huge piece. That's the first step. Everyone needs to be on board and say, yes, we all want to do these things. We can all agree that these are the things that we need to do. How we do them may be a little bit nuanced, but we all need to do these things. And so one example of that is through academic support, as an example. As we've used through Illume, the Course Insights tool, and helping identify, we all know that we need to provide tutoring and we need to provide supplemental instruction, perhaps some academic coaching around various courses. But what are those courses in our College of Liberal and Fine Arts? Where those majors and those students, what are the courses that they need? Those are different courses than what our College of Education students would need. But let's make sure that those courses that are identified as those hurdle or challenge courses are being supported by someone, right? By some area. And if it makes sense that it be from a centralized group because it's typically a lower division course, that would be something that my team would help oversee. If it's a junior level, major specific course, then that's something that the college would oversee. But we work to train and we work to provide similar. I mean, this is a huge ecosystem as we're starting to build this, because now we have to look at also, are we training everyone in the same way, all of our student employees? Are we paying them on a similar scale and working to create a career ladder so that we don't have a peer mentor or a tutor who's hopping from one area to another because we pay 25 cents more an hour? So really looking at how do we build this process out and this organizational structure out in a way that we are all moving in the same rhythm. We're like dancing together. We're all working really well together, and we're not stepping on each other's toes, and we're not competing with one another as we build this out. And that's just one example of how we've worked through that process. But the most important piece was getting everyone in the room, agreeing to the basic philosophy of this and what those unified goals were. And then giving people the freedom and the flexibility to say, okay, well, how you're going to address that with your respective students, and the way that we would a lot of times describe it is, here's the mannequin. You can dress it however you want to dress it for the College of Liberal and Fine Arts. Business may want to address it a little bit differently, but that's okay. We're still we're still meeting the needs of the students. And so that's where we've found the most successes as we've started on this journey with our hub and spoke model.